What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for another Top 10 Countdown, and today I am finally going to be revealing my Top 10 favorite Avenged Sevenfold songs. The heavy metal band hails from Huntington Beach, California. I actually visited their hometown a few years ago, and it was cool to see all of the Avenged love out there. And with Halloween approaching and it just being October, this time of the year with fall, I feel like Avenged are one of those bands that I really like to listen to this time of the year. So not only will you get a Top 10, you'll also be getting a ranked episode where I rank every album from worst to best. I personally credit Avenged Sevenfold alongside System of a Down as the two bands that got me into heavier leaning music, so they will always have a special place in my heart. I love so many of their songs, so not only do I have the top 10, I also have the honorable mentions placed in the description down below. Please check those out, from Paradigm to M.I.A. to Strength of the World and so many more. They are down there in the description, so even if it didn't make the list, I might still have a lot of love for the song. Be sure to drop a like on the video. Keep in mind that this is all just my opinion, and you can let me know your favorite Avenged songs in the comments section down below. Battling its way into the number 10 position after a long fight that left me very undecided, I finally went with Second Heartbeat from Waking the Fallen. This album came out in 2003, and while M.I.A had a very different vocal approach at that time in his career, I still have a lot of love for many of the songs on the album. There was something much more primal about his screams, about the intensity. I would say that they were more of a metalcore band at that point. I love the fact that it brings a lot of drama to the table. It seems like love and other losses in life seem to be the huge extenuating circumstance here. And then at the very end of this song, after all of that, a very clean and catchy chorus and some really hard screams on this track, I love the fact that Sinister Gates just has one of his best solos ever that just explodes. This song is about 7 minutes in length, and as it's capped off with that, it all feels totally worthwhile. I guess I just have a thing for Avenged Sevenfold songs that are 7 minutes long, because at number 9, we have Not Ready to Die. This was released on the Call of the Dead map for Call of Duty Zombies back in 2011. It was put out as a single and eventually included on their Call of Duty compilation EP, Black Rain. This is an amazing song that I have loved from the first time I heard it. It's got a great lead guitar, a very strong vocal presence, and in general, I just like the idea behind it because it takes the lore of the Call of Duty Zombies mode and the Doctor and everything else that went wrong, and it makes it into a cohesive story, and it's writing for a video game or for a movie or for a trailer done right. Imagine Dragons, please take notes. This track in particular though, I just really sink my teeth into the solo, and I like the drumming here as well. Obviously, it's not the Rev. It was actually their first recorded appearance with Aaron LJ, a short-lived member of Avenged, but still, I really feel like he killed it on this track, and the band overall just brought their all for a song that they didn't have to, I suppose, give their all to. Over the years, my number 8 selection, Brompton Cocktail, has risen further and further up my top 10 list. This is a song that I initially considered to be more in like my top 25, but over time, I started to really get into the writing of this song. It was written by M.I.A and the Rev, rest in peace. He wrote this track about somebody who was being altered by a drug, a substance that was overtaking their life, and a Brompton cocktail was a mixture of several different things. And you can see somebody feeling like maybe a Jekyll and Hyde situation where they're turning into somebody that they don't even know. And I love the fact that this song is a little bit more experimental in terms of what Avenged had been doing up until that point. There's a sweeping symphonic element that really adds tension to the song, and then there's a great solo that really just nails the energy that was building up in the song. It's a monster overall in more ways than one. Let's take a moment and break the ice, so my intentions are known. See, I have pity in watching you suffer. I know the feeling of being damned alone. Shepherd of Fire commands the number 7 slot, and this is a song that I've always felt was the best thing about the album Hail to the King. There's one of the best solos from Sinister Gates, which I feel like I'm saying about every single song. I'm so sorry, but truly, I feel like this is an underrated solo from Sin, and overall the vibe of this song is very dark, very brooding, and it's something that you could just see yourself maybe driving to some back roads, and I feel like the music video suits it perfectly. The other aspect that truly works about this song is the lyrical presence and just the fact that M. Shadows just feels so in control. Like he's pulling all of the switches, you can't do anything to stop this, and here he is in control and just dominating. Imagine 13-year-old innocent me going to a Christian school, just being a good old little boy, not doing anything wrong at all, and then one day sitting in front of your TV, turning on Fuse, and seeing the music video for Backcountry and thinking, oh boy, there's life outside of the life that I've been shown right now, isn't there? I was most definitely hypnotized, not only by that, but by another music video from the same era that we'll talk about soon. City of Evil is such an amazing album to unpack. I love the biblical references and obviously the film reference in my number 6 selection, Backcountry, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. This track is just such a powerhouse of energy, of sin, if you will. I love the fact that it's built up in so many different ways, and the fact that M. Shadows just literally seems to be all over the place, and it just feels dark, evil, and the chorus is so catchy. The guitars and the dueling guitar solo, oh, it's so good. I love it just as much now as I did when it blew my mind at age 13, so if you haven't heard this one in a while, I highly suggest going back and checking out this and the rest of City of Evil. Number 5, Natural Born Killer. This one was written by The Rev and was released posthumously on the Nightmare album in 2010. This was one of the tracks that was written by The Rev entirely, and it feels like it captures the energy of somebody who's just kind of spiraling out of control. Like they have a reckless abandon, like they don't care that much about the things around them and their surroundings or who they're harming or what they're doing. And unfortunately, maybe it was a bit of introspection coming out, and also it seems like it was written from a character. This song definitely has a lot of drive to it, and Shadows brings so much to the table in terms of what he does with those lyrics, how he sells them, and overall you get hooked on this song right away because of those fierce drum arrangements that the Rev put in place and played by Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater, at least formally. And then M. Shadows just comes through and captures this track with a dark magic, and then that sweeping guitar solo that it builds up to and those drums just thundering it all home, it's all perfection wrapped up in a 5-minute song. Avenged weren't afraid to get political early on in their careers as they tackle a lot of things on this track, and it seems like they're breaking the shackles, at least encouraging people to do that, and Shadows has such a great energy. I really like his vocal performances on City of Evil better than anything else they've ever done because he hits higher registers, he still has some screams, he has some almost twisted humor that's thrown in there as well, and all of the punches truly land. It segued in perfectly from Burn It Down, which just missed my list and would probably land at number 11 if I had to keep going with like my top 20 or anything, and Blinded in Chains just opens up with that blazing, shearing guitar that you just want the headbang to right away. The drums are out of control, and as this song keeps going on and takes on different stages, I love the fact that they're able to accomplish that. Avenged quite often can do like 2 or 3 different sounding songs all in one and truly make it work, especially with the thematic elements that are going on with Blinded in Chains. This song is truly amazing. Oh, if only my super conservative and religious aunt knew what I did with the soundtrack to NASCAR Thunder 2004. Because at number 3, we have the first ever Avenged Sevenfold song that I ever heard, Chapter 4 by Avenged from Waking the Fallen. Chapter 4 is a track that I feel really set the bar high for what Avenged Sevenfold would become in the future. This really showed the fact that they had a catchiness to them, but really had something special going on with the guitar and drum chemistry, the fact that they played off of each other, and that deep thumping bass on this track too. Despite the fact that the mixing isn't always the best on Waking the Fallen, I still feel like despite the tweaks, the rawness really hits home on something like Chapter 4. I love the screams, the breakdown, everything just melts down in the best possible way. M. Shadows has described my number 2 pick, Buried Alive, as the band's Stairway to Heaven, in the sense that there's a lot going on. It's like a concoction of different elements, and I love the fact that this track opens up on like a John Frusciante Red Hot Chili Peppers in the 90s sounding guitar. It's something that lures you in, and you're like, okay, I haven't seen Avenged do something like this, and they weren't afraid to do that. I like the fact that there's tracks in their career, in their discography, that do stand out in that regard, and Buried Alive is most definitely one of those. It seems like the narrator of this song is very desperate, like he's trapped and he's just running the same cycle like a mouse on a wheel, as he implies here. And then the solo is just incredible. It's something that I truly feel sets Sinister Gates apart from other guitarists because he rivets on this track. Ladies and gentlemen, your number 1 pick, the song that has been number 1 for me since the day I heard it from Avenged Sevenfold, it is Beast and the Harlot from the 2005 release City of Evil. To this day, I don't know if I've ever heard a more badass intro to a song. It just seems like everything is coming together. It's like we're about to worship something super evil and the city of Babylon is about to fall apart, and the music video adds a lot to it as well because there's like a contract going around sucking the soul out of people when they sign. Beast and the Harlot though, oh my god, this song has everything you could possibly want in a hard rock, metal, whatever you're into, heavy or leaning. It's got guitar solos, it's got thundering drums, it's got double bass pedals, it's got standout bass in general. The vocals are wild and absolutely entertaining. It's like you're just watching a show spill out in front of you, and even though you don't have to pay for admission, you can keep coming back over and over and over again and watch the show, and it's always just as good. Thank you so much for tuning into my top 10 favorite Avenged Sevenfold songs. Let me know what you think of my list in the comment section down below, and keep in mind it was all just my opinion, so let me know your top 10 or even your top 5 in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new in town. My top 10 and ranked episodes are the most time-consuming series that I have on my channel, so if you would like to see both of those continue and you want to support the channel, then please click the top link down below or else the annotation in the corner to support me on Patreon. There's another Avenged Sevenfold review right over here, or you can see the last top 10 right over here. Socials in the description, and I'll see you soon for more on ARTV.